Omane Peme Hori Omane Peme Hori Omane Peme Hori Omane Peme Hori Omane Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme.
Tashi Delek, everybody, how are you? Kuzu Zangpola, Usa Jamo, Usa Nixon. Let por jam never tamchana. Okay, so welcome to Chenrezik Meditation. So please sit in a nice relaxed posture. It will be about an hour of chanting, meditation, and then today is questions and answers. So it's too short. Then breathe in light. And expel the stale breath, stale wind. Again, breathing. And breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And fill your body with light. Then in your mind, cultivate faith, devotion and bodhicitta. And then check your motivation, why we are practicing Chenrezik. So if you don't have any motivation, then you need to fix your motivation to turn towards Buddhahood. If your intentions are mistaken, then we need to abandon that and cultivate the pure intention. Then if your intention is just for yourself, we need to fix that intention to the vast intention. So thinking of all motherly sentient beings whose number pervade the vastness of space, in order to bring them to the state of perfect and complete Buddhahood, by all means I'm going to engage in this meditation and recitation of Chenrezik. Sangye Chödan Tsoke Chonam La Jangchu Barando Dane Chasun Che Dage Gomde Gipe Senam Kindola Pencher Sangye Do Barsho. In the Buddha, Dharma and the noble Sangha, I take refuge until Buddhahood. Through the merit of meditation and recitation, may I accomplish Buddhahood to benefit sentient beings. In the Buddha, Dharma and the noble Sangha, I take refuge until Buddhahood. Through the merit of meditation and recitation, may I accomplish Buddhahood to benefit sentient beings. Semchen tamchen dewa dan dewe judan dembara juru chi dunga dan dunga ge judan jawara juru chi dunga mebe dewa dan mi jawara juru chi nere cha dan dan jalwe tanyom se me pala nebara juru chi. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that is devoid of suffering. May they rest in boundless equanimity, free from the partiality of desire and hatred to near and far. May all sentient beings have happiness and the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and the cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that is devoid of suffering. May they rest in boundless equanimity, free from the partiality of desire and hatred to near and far. Then here practice giving and taking. Then finally dissolve all concept into great emptiness and rest in that state for as long as you can. That's the absolute bodhicitta. Then when you arise from that state, then immediately engage in the generation of the deity. So page 3. Da song kan chai sim chingi chi tsun pe kar da wei ting shri le pa chon chen re zi kar se zir ngai den tro Ze zon to je chingi zi cha je dang po tal jara ze o ni shel ten pe kara nam dara da rin chingi gi te rin da pa pe te yo se Bai me be u genje Sham ni doro je kil tron shuk De me da wara ja temba Cham ni kundu ngoro jur Above the crown of all sentient beings is a white lotus with a moon seed, upon which is a free syllable that arises as the Supreme Noble Chenrezik. He is luminously white and radiating out 5 color lights. He is handsome, smiling and gazing with eyes of great compassion. He has 4 arms, the 2 upper hands are joined in prayer gesture, while the 2 lower hands hold a crystal mala and a white lotus. He is adorned in silk and jewels, and wearing a deer skin on his shoulder. His head is adorned with Buddha Amitabha on the crown. He is seated with 2 legs in the Dorje Kiltrum, and resting his back on a stainless moon. He becomes the essence of the embodiment of all refuges. Joy can ge ma ge kondong kar zo sang ge ula gen tu je chen ge don la ze chen re ze la chan sen Joy can ge ma ge kondong kar zo sang ge ula gen tun je chen ge don la ze chen re ze la chan sen Joy can ge ma ge kondong kar zo sang ge ula gen tun je chen ge don la ze chen re ze la chan sen O Protector, you are unstained by any fault. Your body is white in color. Your head is adorned with a perfect Buddha. You look unto beings with eyes of great compassion. I pay homage to you, Chenrezik. O Protector, you are unstained by any fault. Your body is white in color. Your head is adorned with a perfect Buddha. You look unto beings with eyes of great compassion. I pay homage to you, Chenrezik. O protector, you unstained by any fault. Your body is white in color. Your head is adorned with a perfect Buddha. You look unto beings with eyes of great compassion. I pay homage to you, Chenrezik. Hamban Chenrezik wan dan chonjun de zon shomba yen gewa semchen tamche la kunne dangwe change hu mito dobe marme de sheze rolmon la sopa ngejoro yeke tunembe pabe tsoge shesos Thoma menen dande bara mige chodan tsame nga semne nyenmo wanjurobe Dikba tamche shambara genen te range janchu sem soso kewo la sobe Desum gewa che sanbe senam lane dayera Semche namge samba dan loye jedra jetawa Chechon tunmon tekbayi Chegen korlo kordos korwa jese mandon baranyange medai tujeye Dunga jansoro jingwa ye semche namlai siksusal Dagi senam che sambai tamche jansho jurjurne Ringbor meto droa ye dembe bendo da juruchi To the noble Chenrezik and to the 10 directions and 3 times, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, I pay homage with utmost respect. Flowers, incense, lamps and perfumes, food, drinks, music and so forth. I offer these in actuality and manifested through my mind. Please accept these assemblies of noble ones. From timeless beginning until now, all the 10 non-virtues and the 5 inexpiable actions, and my mind under the influence of afflictive emotions, I confess all of the negativities that I have committed. On the Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and individual beings and others' virtues that they have accumulated, and will accumulate in the 3 times, and in the merit they have gained I rejoice. According to the wishes of sentient beings, befitting the various capabilities of their intellect. On the vehicles of the greater, smaller, and common, I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma. Until cyclic existence is completely emptied, do not enter into nirvana, but with great compassion for those drowning in the ocean of suffering, I request you to look upon sentient beings. Whatever virtue I have accumulated, may it become a cause for Buddhahood. Without delaying further for all sentient beings, may I become the glorious one of the Liberator. Sewa so lama chenre zi sewa so idam Chenrezik sewa so pacho chenre zi sewa so chamgen Chenrezik sewa so chamgen Chenrezik zi tuje zi shi gewa tuje chen tame korwara dhame chamjur chi zeme dunga nyongwe drowala Khenpo kele chalje mache sonam ke Sangye Tombar Jenge Lo. I pray to you, Lama Chenrezik. I pray to you, Idam Chenrezik. I pray to you, Supreme Noble Chenrezik. I pray to you, Lord of Refuge Chenrezik. I pray to you, Lord of loving kindness Chenrezik. O victorious, great, compassionate one, hold us with great compassion, wandering countless lifetimes in endless cyclic existence. Sentient beings have experienced unbearable suffering. They have no other refuge beside you, O Protector. Bless them to achieve omniscient Buddhahood. I pray to you, Lama Chenrezik. I pray to you, Idam Chenrezik. I pray to you, Supreme Noble Chenrezik. I pray to you, Lord of Refuge Chenrezik. I pray to you, Lord of loving kindness Chenrezik. O victorious, great, compassionate one, hold us with great compassion, wandering countless lifetimes in endless cyclic existence. Sentient beings have experienced unbearable suffering. They have no other refuge beside you, O Protector. Bless them to achieve omniscient Buddhahood. Tome dune lenge saibe tu jedan wangi nge warai ke jurude Tadang dunga nyongwei simchen nai lai choi ke drundu ke warasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of anger gives birth in the hell realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of heat and cold be born in your presence, Supreme Deity. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tome dune lenge sai pe tu ser ne wangi Hidai ne suke te kondunga nyongwe semchen na shing cho pota laru ke warasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of greed gives birth in the hungry ghost realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of hunger and thirst be born in the supreme pure realm Potala. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tome dune lenge sai pe tu te mo wange du doro ke joro te len ko dunga nyongwe semchen nangenbo keke drundu ke warasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of ignorance and stupidity gives birth in the animal realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of ignorance and stupidity be born in your presence, O Lord Protector. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Tome dune lenge saibe tunde chawangi miyene suke delpon dunga nyue semchen nan dewa chengi shingdu kewarasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of desire gives birth in the human realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of constant toil and poverty be born in Devachen Puram. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tome dune lenge saibe tu tando wange lamene suke tabzendunga nyue semchen nan podalai shingdu kewarasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of jealousy gives birth in the demigod realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of fighting and quarreling be born in Patala Puram. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Tome Dune Lenge Sabe Tungage Wange Slaye Nesuke Odonga Nyongwe Simchen Nam Bodalaye Shindu Gewarasho. Through the accumulation of negative karma from beginningless time, the force of pride gives birth in the God realm. May all sentient beings who are experiencing the torment of death and downfall be born in Potala pure realm. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Dani Geshin Gewai Tamjen Du Chenrezik Meditation Zombai Ye Madai Jinge Ronam Dorwai Dang Sunjo Yingro Chonjuro Ingen Barasho Pancho Kelai Sewai Dambutu Dagen Duljara Jurben Rowai Nam Ledre Lulenge Wele Laizen Drowe dendo chedan dembarai sho. Through all of my lifetimes, may I, with the conduct similar to that of Chenrezik, liberate all beings from the impure realms. May the supreme speech of the 6 syllables spread in the 10 directions. By the power of fervent supplication to you, Supreme Noble One, may all beings who become the individuals to be tamed, understand cause and effect and exert in virtue, and may they be endowed with the sacred Dharma for benefiting beings. Dendarain sechen seldain ben pampe kule wezerete mada lena trushe chinne dewai chingi shin nangchu kedre lengas chenre ziwan kosung to nangra rikton ereme juru. From praying like this one-pointedly, light radiates out from Noble One's body, purifying impure karmic appearance and deluded concepts. The outer world becomes Devach and pure realm. The body, speech, and mind of beings within that pure realm become the wisdom body, speech, and mind of Chenrezik. All sight, sound, and awareness become inseparable from emptiness. Om Mani Padme Hum Re, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum Re. Om Mani Padme Hum Re, Om Mani From praying like the I and others who appear in form as the wisdom body of the Noble One. All reverberations of sounds are the melodies of the 6 syllables. All recollections and thoughts are the vast expanse of the supreme primordial wisdom. Gewa deye nundun da chenre se lhundrupcholing Rowa Jigjan Malumba Deye Sanlai Gumbar Sho. Through this merit may I quickly accomplish the powerful Chenrezik without leaving a single sentient being behind. May they be placed into the state of Chenrezik. Den darangom dengi bese namke dai 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 lai drum toin dro wai kun me zan lun den boro wai juro mai tai de wai chen du zu den ke warai sho Ken man tan du sa chu ram ne chun be chon jur jen den jen barai sho. Through the virtue of performance of the meditation and recitation in this way, may I and all beings who are connected with me, as soon as this impure body is left behind, may we be born miraculously in their Vachan. Having taken the birth there and traversing the 10 bhumis, may our emanations spread in the 10 directions and perform the benefit of others. In the next part, Chenrezik, visualize all sentient beings along with us, with their body, with their speech and mind, practicing all together with us. Ma nam kanda nyambe semjen tamche lama sangye rimbo chela chansun che ho. Mantra recitation. Ma nam kanda nyambe semchen tamche sangye che dan genden nam la chansun che ho. Ma nam kanda nyambe semchen tamche lama yedam khandra chola chansun che ho. Ma nam kanda nyambe semchen tamche rang sem dong sa che ke kola chansun che ho. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the Lama, the precious Buddha. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sanghas. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the hosts of lamas, siddhams, and dhakinis. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in one's emptiness and luminous mind, Dharma Kaya. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the Lama, the precious Buddha. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sanghas. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in the hosts of lamas, siddhams, and dhakinis. All motherly sentient beings equal to space take refuge in one's emptiness and luminous mind, Dharma Kaya. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Humani bime, 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 humani bime. Humani bime, humani bime, humani bime, humani bime, humani bime, humani bime, page 23. Lendan lomboro ken le jurbaye, dendai nedan jumbo sewa so. Simche yeme dewe nenam kun jiten kamsu jungwarai majuruji jidarai sheme chibe sejai jin keche chelai lusem dreljebe soto inike dungai jine pae jiten kamsu jungwarai majuruji Chindai shinje kanai tsuban tarai neke mingzam tebe trajebe Ninje badan tabe rimsoi ke lujen kunlai ne barai majuruji Nebe gegre tongtrai ge chundan loboro yedroi sumjai drujudan Shijai zaji nelai sopa ye luchen kun lai sewara majuruji Lusem dewa male chongje be jongje chongbe dungai jineba Malu jijen dangdoi denbai dang tsere neme deke denbarashu Lamai kenju sumge tuje dang kandro chechon sume nutu dang Lendre luwai mebe dendoi ke nguwai melam tabse dru barasho. Page 23 in English. Arisen from the karma and adventitious conditions, the demonic attack, diseases, and harm from spirits, and so forth. All of the illnesses that discomfort the minds of sentient beings. May they never rise in the realm of this world. Like the animals herded by a butcher to the slaughterhouse, in an instant their bodies and minds will be separated. Likewise, however many suffering there might be of illness that take lives away, may they never rise in the realm of this world. Like those who have fallen in the mouth of the Shinje, the Lord of Death, those who are terrified merely by the name of illness, the plagues that torment for a day or constantly, may they never harm any sentient beings. May the 80,000 types of harmful spirits, the 360 adventitious negative forces, and the 404 types of diseases not harm any sentient being at all. That which robs of the happiness and comfort of the body and mind, whatever kind of suffering of the imbalances of the four elements, may they be pacified and may beings have lustre and power. May they live long, have peace and happiness, and be free from illness. By the great compassion of the three rare precious jewel lamas, by the blessings and power of the Dakinis, Dharmapalas, and protectors, and by the power of the truth of the unfailing cause and result, may all measures of dedications and aspirations that are wished here be accomplished. Through this merit may I attain all-knowing omniscience, and may all enemies of defilements be vanquished. May all sentient beings, pounded by the turbulent waves of birth, aging, sickness, and death, be liberated from the ocean of cyclic existence. Just as the heroic Manjushri realized, and Samanta Bhadra too, I will train in their examples and perfectly dedicate all of these virtues. All of the conquerors of the three times, in whichever way they supremely praise dedication. I too will perfectly dedicate all of my roots of virtue for the excellent conduct. May the supreme precious Bodhicitta arise in whom it has not arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but may it prosper more and evermore. Okay, thank you very much everybody for joining. Now we'll begin our questions and answers. No? Okay, so the question for today is, would you please go over the symbolic representations of Chenrezik, the crystal mala, deerskin, lotus flower, etc.? So Chenrezik, we are doing Chenrezik practice, and it's a deity practice. So the word is idam. We say idam. Idam gita, we say. There are many translators, idam, like tutelary deities or deity. It's the ordinary word that we have in English is God. So the like hla, we'd say. But here when we talk about this deity as opposed to God, then we have to understand these are not worldly gods. These are wisdom deities. So these are not worldly deities. These are wisdom deities. So they are not just like gods within cyclic existence. They are not deities that some tradition they worship deity like powerful deity to bring destruction to others and bring benefit to oneself, and like those kind of thing. Here Chenrezik is the wisdom deity, and Chenrezik's origination of how he came to be as a bodhisattva, there's a long story. There is in the Sutra of the Fortunate Eon, they talk about Buddha here is mentioning about the 1,002 Buddhas appearing in this world system. So Buddha Shakyamuni is the fifth Buddha. So there are 1,002 Buddhas appearing in this whole cycle of existence. That period of the first Buddha appearing until the 1,002 Buddhas, it is called the Kalzang, the fortunate eon. The counting of the eons are quite sophisticated or quite complicated. That is from the countless numbers of years a human being live, then it kind of wanes, it kind of comes down to a point where human beings' average lifetime is 84,000 years. And then it again falls down to, down, and to average 100-year lifespan is the human birth lifespan. And then again from 100 it comes down to 10 years is the average lifespan of human beings. Then from there again it goes up, it rises, again it scoops up, and to 84,000 and then beyond 80,000. It's like 80,000 is countable, but then there is countless years of countless numbers of years, which is the average lifespan of human being. Like that it goes. So there's this scoop. There's like going up, coming down, going up, like that. So there's this graph like going up and down. And then at one point, this world comes to an end where it is destroyed by wind or water or fire and so forth. And for some time the world remains empty for a while. This world system remains empty, but beings are transported to another world system. And then again this world starts to form. That's called the formation of how the world comes to take place. And then the world starts to build, and then the world remains for a while. Again it disintegrates and then remains empty, and different world systems starts to take place, and sentient beings are always transformed or transported to a different world system. So this kind of going up and down is there, and within that period there are 1,002 Buddhas appearing. That span of eon, that collection of eon, like I think there is in English they have eon that is single. It begins with an A-E-O-N, and multiple eons are E-O or something like that. I think there's a difference in spelling, how you spell it. So, but anyway, so singular eon, multiple eon. So that's why from the first Buddha till the 1,002 Buddhas appearing, that's called the fortunate eon. And these different Buddhas appear, and these are all through the aspirations of different Buddhas, vast prayers or aspiration that they made. And Chenrezik is one of those who made that aspiration. And then right now he is a bodhisattva. During the time of Shakyamuni, he was a bodhisattva too. Remember, Chenrezik is there attending the teachings. He is there when Buddha Shakyamuni is giving the Heart Sutra. Have you read the Heart Sutra? Thus I have heard once when the Bhagavan was on the Vulture Peak mountain in the province of the kings, Magadha. It's called the Gyalpo Cup. Magadha is the region. Gyalpo Cup, that is the province, and in the place is called the Vulture Peak Mountain. When the Bhagavan was resting or in the state, abiding in the profound samadhi of identitylessness, in the profound view, and then at that time, through the power of Buddha Shakyamuni, the great Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Chenrezik, was also in that deep meditation of profound emptiness. And through the power of the Buddha, Shariputra asked this question to Chenrezik, like how a son or daughter who wishes to engage in this profound emptiness conduct. And then Chenrezik is now answering. So now we have actually a personal account of Chenrezik being present when Buddha Shakyamuni was there. You see that? Buddha Shakyamuni was there. Historically, he was there. Some almost 3,000 years ago. And Chenrezik was there now. This Heart Sutra account tells us that he was there. Was he in 4 arms? Was he in 2 arms? Like that. It doesn't mention he was in 4 arms, but he was with 2 arms at that time. So now in our practice we have 4 arms. Chenrezik having 4 arms, 2 upper hands joined together in prayer mudra, holding a jewel, holding a precious jewel in prayer mudra. The right hand holding a lotus, the left hand holding a crystal mala, like that kind of. So there are different levels of teachings. In the outer Mahayana teachings, Chenrezik is depicted in single face, 2 arms, 2 legs, like that. And then as the tantric teachings kind of initiate the practice of Chenrezik, then Chenrezik has sometimes 2 arms, sometimes 4 arms, and then it can get complicated, like having 3 faces, 6 arms, and so on and so forth, like that. So those kind of. Now it's according to the level of the category of Tantra or the stages of Tantra, you see. Ngakide, it's like the group or the category of Tantras. The Tantras are grouped differently according to different schools. In the Nyingma tradition, we group them into 6 yanas, 6 vehicles, and sometimes into 9 vehicles, or into 6 classes of tantras. So the outer tantras and the inner tantras, sometimes the outer tantras, the inner tantras, and the unsurpassable tantras, and so on and so forth, like that. So anyway, so these deities holding different emblems and so forth characterize or symbolize wisdom phenomena. So when we are visualizing Chenrezik, we are told or we are taught to visualize to bring the clear aspect of Chenrezik. So we are visualizing Chenrezik like that, and beautiful, handsome, smiling Chenrezik with his expression is of love. Just if you were to actually encounter Chenrezik, he was very smiling and peaceful and loving, that you cannot set your eyes from that. Your eyes will be fixated onto Chenrezik. It's unquenchable. So when you see Chenrezik, so that so much bliss, so much joy and happiness comes to you. So such kind of expression or appearance of Chenrezik like that. So when we are taught to meditate, then depending on different levels of tantra and the how would you say, the context of the deity also changes. So in the outer tantra, you see deity more like disconnected, meaning your deity are like kings, and the person who is accomplishing the deity is more like a servant, like a server, and that's why in order to please the deity, then they have to present offerings and observe cleanliness, purity, and then they almost like a worship. The word is chepa, the closest word is worship. But of course, in the Buddhist way of practicing is different from the non-Buddhist way of how they worship deity and gods and so forth. So you have to actually understand that. So that's why earlier I began that you have to understand what it means by deity, worldly deity versus wisdom deities, like that. So in the outer tantra, yes, they have that kind of consideration, the deity being superior, the one who is accomplishing being inferior or low. And then in order to achieve the deity state, then they have to perform purity and all these offerings and so forth. And then when that purity pleases the deity and the deity is pleased, and that the deity grants the blessings of the deity and the blessings of the deity of body, speech and mind and so forth, like that. Now in the inner tantra, the context or the way of how we see deity is different, that the deity's nature and one's nature are inseparable. In fact, once you approach the deity, you already know the nature of deity is emptiness, the nature of oneself is emptiness, and so forth. But the way approaching the deity is slightly different. They still have the notion that the deities are superior and so forth. But once you come to the inner accomplishment of the tantra, you see the deities and one's own nature are inseparable. So it's more like a reflection of how Chenrezik, being a bodhisattva, making that aspiration, became a bodhisattva on the 10th bhumi. And then, we are here practicing in such a way that we visualize Chenrezik. And now, when we visualize Chenrezik, we're not visualizing Chenrezik's body like flesh and blood body. It's more like a rainbow, like a reflection of the moon in the water, appearing but empty. And so that's called the clear visualization. We'll bring that one. And when we think of Chenrezik holding the precious jewel in the upper two hands and the lotus and the crystal mala like that, these are not like lotus from the swamp, lotus from the swamp, like that, or this precious jewel that are just like solid jewel and so forth. And similarly, like that, when you're talking about crystal, it's not just like the crystal that we see like here, like that. So it's just a symbolic representation. So the jewel that he holds in between his hands, similarly like that, all the expression of Chenrezik, his single face, his four hands, his two eyes, and wearing the headdress of this crown, and then we say the 13 ornaments of Sambhogakaya, the 8 jewels, the 5 silk garments, and sitting on top of a lotus and moon seed. All this have wisdom representation. So these are called the pure Dakparademba. We need to bring forth understanding what they actually symbolize. So these are not just objects, real objects, but these symbolize, there is a meaning behind it. So that's a good question. This symbolizes many different things. So according to the level of teachings, this symbolism also slightly differ. There is a slight difference in the symbolism. But whatever it is wisdom symbolism. It means it is appearance and emptiness. It is appearance and emptiness, but the power of this appearance and emptiness manifesting different activity. The symbol, those different activities are what it symbolizes. So we need to understand what they symbolize. So the jewel in between, this is the wish-fulfilling jewel. The wish-fulfilling jewel that's in between Chenrezik's upper 2 hands, the left and the right here, symbolize bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the wish-fulfilling jewel, like we say, the precious bodhicitta. This is bodhicitta that Chenrezik holds. And there is no other jewel greater than that. Of all jewels that you wish for, like the wish-fulfilling jewel, can grant you longevity, can grant you whatever you wish for. It can grant you almost everything but one. It can grant you, like wealth and riches and whatever. It's just like the genie's magic lamp. Can grant you almost everything, but very bad example, but I'm just kind of saying it's wish-fulfilling jewel. It's the Arabian Nights stories and so forth, I don't know, but these there are wish-fulfilling jewels, there are wish-fulfilling trees and so forth, wish-fulfilling treasure vase. You put your hand inside and you wish and you stick your hand out, that is in your hand. There are wish-fulfilling trees that you wish, and then all of a sudden it appears. So now here this is wish-fulfilling jewel, but here wish-fulfilling jewel is actually bodhicitta here. So as I was mentioning, the other kind of wish-fulfilling jewel grants you everything but cannot grant one, that is Buddhahood. That cannot grant Buddhahood. Buddhahood is the ultimate attainment. So this is that wish-fulfilling jewel, which is bodhicitta. That's why we say bodhicitta is the supreme of all jewels. Supreme means there's nothing beyond, there's nothing greater than that. So it's bodhicitta. So this symbolizes bodhicitta. That if you are bodhicitta, You can wish for anything. Other common things are just, these are just ordinary. You can actually, from bodhicitta, Buddhahood comes forth. Buddha's benefit comes forth from there. Buddha's benefit through omniscience, Buddha's benefit through great compassion, Buddha's benefit through the power of realization, and all come from. So this is bodhicitta. So don't think that it's just an ordinary jewel. It is actually bodhicitta. So this is the most precious of all that Chenrezik is actually holding. This is the bodhicitta. If of anything that you look for around Chenrezik, you should go for this. This is bodhicitta. From bodhicitta, everything arises. So this is symbolizing, he's holding jewel, but in the meaning, what it means is he has bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is unbiased. Bodhicitta of unconditioned and omniscience. This bodhicitta is the absolute bodhicitta. Unconditioned, there is no condition that, it will happen to one, not happen to others, and so on and so forth. There's no condition. So this is bodhicitta that he holds in his hand. So you remember that. Okay, the jewel represents bodhicitta, the supreme of all jewel, bodhicitta. You know that Shantideva in his prayer says, bodhicitta, the precious jewel. Like we read here, may the supreme precious bodhicitta arise in whom it has not arisen. That is the greatest of aspiration is this one. If you pray for all beings, this is the essence of all prayers. You can wish for them to have houses, family, friends, medicine, clothing, luxury, whatever you want to wish for, but still not good enough. You want to wish them they cultivate bodhicitta. After they have cultivated that, the bodhicitta never wanes, never declines, never diminishes, but prospers evermore. That is the aspiration that we should have. So this is that bodhicitta. Do you have that in your heart or not? This is the aspiration we have. If you have this, the 4 immeasurables are there. If you have this, the 6 perfection seeds are there within this bodhicitta. So this is what you need to remember. So Chenrezik is holding that one. So then in his right hand, he is holding a crystal mala. So in his right hand, he is holding crystal mala. And the left hand, there is a lotus. So the lotus actually, he is holding like this, and then the lotus blossom is opening close to his ear like that. The lotus symbolizes his speech. Chenrezik's speech, Om Mani Padme Hum, symbolizes what he conveys, love and compassion. This is stainless, and this is enlightened mind. This is enlightened speech. This is enlightened body activity. So this is his speech, what he conveys, his mantra here. And then here he is holding, I'm reversing the hand, because this is where the mala, the crystal mala. And so talking about the lotus is the Om Mani Padme Hum, or the teachings, which here refers to great compassion. What is the teaching of Chenrezik is great compassion, to awaken that quality within one's own being, that great compassion. So that is Chenrezik, referring to his teaching, stainless. So lotus. And then the crystal mala is the activity of Chenrezik. That crystal represents his stainless conduct of liberating. So just like each mala being pulled is, the activity, the Buddha activity or the wisdom activity. And the mala, this can be very, we can go into very intellectual depths of representing the 108 peaceful and wrathful deities are emanation of Chenrezik. They are actually the emanation of Chenrezik. Chenrezik is the source of all those activities. So this one is his wisdom activity. So liberating, and his activity is liberating sentient beings from the miserable existence to higher existence, higher forms of life. And from higher forms of life, cultivating bodhicitta. My hands always going the other way. So understanding great compassion or cultivating great compassion and awakening bodhicitta, which is the absolute nature, like that. So, and we don't have time, but in the way of practicing the deity, they talk about those five manifest awakened qualities. So the nature, we need to understand the nature of the deity, what the lotus seat represent, what the moon disk represent, what the deity represents, what the mantras represent, what the 6 syllables represent, and so forth, like that. So if you want to learn more about that, then you can learn in the tantric class. So these are not, we cannot just kind of talk during, these are only taught when you enter into a tantric class. So because of the nature of the teachings. But here I can tell you, because Chenrezik, as we are talking about, it represents the wisdom dimension. And why? Because when you are meditating on Chenrezik, first of all, we are not seeing Chenrezik as flesh and blood form. Rather, it's more like a rainbow appearance, or like a dream-like appearance, or like a reflection of the moon in the water, like that. Now, when we see that, it actually reflects of wisdom. Not when we see the dream, we don't understand what it means, we are confused. Similarly, like that, when we see the image of Chenrezik, it actually awakens the wisdom dimension. So, means why we are doing the practice of Chenrezik is to awaken the qualities of bodhicitta, awaken the qualities of great compassion, engaging in the act of liberating sentient beings, elevating from their lower existence to higher forms of life. That is Chenrezik. Chenrezik without compassion is not Chenrezik. Chenrezik without bodhicitta is not Chenrezik. Chenrezik without activity of benefiting others is not Chenrezik. So these two, the lotus and this one, also the lotus wisdom speech represents emptiness. Liberating each and every sentient beings, that's awakened activity represents skillful method. So wisdom and method. So skillful means and wisdom. So these are what they represent. So yes, you can learn more about this. Chenrezik is not just like a simple deity. In the collection of the treasure revelation. We have about some 64 volumes of treasure collections, and the later part of these collections, pretty much about 20 or so volumes, contain the accomplishment of Chenrezik, just the accomplishment of Chenrezik. So Chenrezik is not just like a normal, like an ordinary deity practice. It's actually a profound practice. So you can learn more about this. But for now, yes. So when you're practicing Chenrezik, you have to remember that these are all aimed toward counteracting our habit, our samsaric habit of duality. So we'll talk more about that in the future. So it's good to know that, okay? And then Chenrezik is wearing the deer skin on his left shoulder, covering his left chest here, like that. It's a what do you call? Yeah, the nipples here. Numa is the nipple. The left nipple is been covered with the. So there is another symbolic meaning of that. So you learn all of this. Okay. Dakpara Dempa is to bring forth the recollection of purity. When you meditate on Chenrezik, seeing clearly is called Nampar Selva, illuminating the clarity of Chenrezik. Now, once you see Chenrezik like in the form of light and rainbow and so forth, you need to understand these are wisdom representation. Each one of these represent wisdom phenomena, like that. So they're aimed counteracting our duality. If you don't see Chenrezik clearly, it means our objective grasping onto material things are very strong. So when you close your eyes, Chenrezik doesn't appear. But things that you think of, like your phone and computers and your cards and so forth, appear very clearly in your mind. That means your objective grasping is very strong. That's why Chenrezik hard to appear. Anyhow. Now, in order to think that these represent wisdom, it's even harder to think. Then we think, when we see that, immediately we'll have grasping attachment, like, this is real, this is true. Like how we grasp onto our dream phenomena. When beautiful things appear in your dream, immediately your mind catches, I like this. Or like demon appearing in your dream, or ghost appearing in your dream, then you immediately fear, I don't like this. That kind of habit. So these are all countered. These are antidote to such kind of dualistic habit of ours. So again, you can learn more about this when you, because when we are doing Chenrezik, I don't know who all are joining. So I know some of you are advanced students. I know that. Just because I want to tell you doesn't mean that I can speak so openly about Tantra to all others. So, and of course, we are now streaming on YouTube, and students or people from so many different life or mindsets and so forth encounters. So we need to kind of be careful, okay? But if you want to learn more, I'm not discouraging you. If you want to learn more, then you need to enter into the tantric path. There is commitment and so forth. Okay, the second one. Okay, what time is it? In Dilgo Khenpo's Heart of Compassion commentary on the 37 practices, he states, when you realize emptiness perfectly, No effort will be needed for unconditional compassion to manifest, since compassion is the expression of emptiness. Could you comment on this? Yes, emptiness is great compassion. Compassion right now, with aspiration, with intention, is conceptual compassion. And conceptual compassion has limitation. There's expectations, there is weariness, there is fatigue, there is lack of power, concepts are there, limitations are there. So, but now we talk about compassion here. This is the compassion which said is the Bodhisattva's mindset is compassion. Bodhisattva's intention is bodhicitta, meaning bodhicitta is here in the case, like we cannot just say compassion. Bodhicitta is wisdom and compassion, emptiness and compassion. So we cannot just say bodhicitta is just compassion. Bodhicitta is actually wisdom and compassion. So bodhicitta is not just compassion like that. So, and when we want to awaken that nature of wisdom and compassion, we begin engaging with aspiration, and then in order to bring forth the fulfillment or the result of that aspiration, then we engage practicing generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, meditation, and wisdom, like that. So we have 6 trainings. So generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, samadhi or meditation, and wisdom. Now they are categorized into 2 called merit and wisdom. So generosity, discipline, patience, and samadhi, they fall into the category of merit. Wisdom falls into the category of wisdom. Now, diligence, half and half. Diligence helps both. Diligence supports accumulation of merit, as well as diligence supports the perfection of wisdom, like that. So Bodhisattva trains in this. So say generosity, practicing generosity. You give, and in the context of generosity, there are 3 different ways of practicing generosity. 1, practicing generosity, giving your possession, wealth and possession. And a second kind of generosity, protecting lives. So animals about to die or about to be killed, then you protecting their lives. Mijik chapgi jimpa, it's like protecting their lives so that they don't have any fear anymore. So that kind of generosity. And then the third kind of generosity is imparting the teachings. Chabjin chökyo jimba is like the ultimate protection is the teachings that can save and protect us from. So the Dharma teachings, not just teachings, we are talking about Dharma. It's the sacred Dharma teachings like that. So whichever generosity that you practice, if you have notion, so this is called perfection, okay? You are bringing forth the perfection of generosity. Till you have no more concepts of holding into anything. So you don't have any kind of grasping and attachment to anything. You can give and you can offer without holding anything for yourself. That's generosity. And protecting lives without holding anything for yourself. You can give up your life to protect others. Likewise, in order to bestow the teachings, there is no holding back onto yourself. Like you tirelessly, selflessly offer the teachings to other sentient beings. Whichever realm, whichever place, you need to offer the teachings like that. So this is generosity you offer. Now, as long as you have this concept of I am practicing generosity for sentient beings who are the object of my generosity, this thing that I'm offering, this body that I'm offering, this teaching that I'm offering, and so forth, then that is called worldly generosity. It's not transcendent. It hasn't gone beyond concept. When you come to realize emptiness of oneself who is practicing generosity, understanding the emptiness of sentient beings who are the object of your practicing generosity, and when you come to understand the emptiness of these material and possessions and body and phenomena and so forth as emptiness, that is called the transcendent generosity. That is called the perfection of generosity. That is beyond the world generosity. It's not worldly generosity, because there is no more concept. That's called the wisdom generosity. That is, unless you bring wisdom into these 5 practices as we were counting, like generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, meditation. If wisdom is lacking, these 5 become just worldly generosity, worldly discipline, worldly patience, worldly diligence, worldly meditation. If wisdom is not there, these 5 are called like blind practice. Only wisdom can lead them to Buddhahood. So, when these practices become non-conceptual, so compassion becoming transcendent or beyond concept, that is wisdom, compassion, which is emptiness, inseparability. So it's not emptiness just, it is actually compassion becoming unconditioned, not cultivated, natural, of its own nature, without any seed or condition. Compassion arisen because I cultivated it. This is a cause. Compassion arising because of such certain conditions and circumstances. It is conditioned. Compassion, natural, from the very moment of being, compassion. That is unconditioned wisdom, compassion. So, yes, when you realize emptiness, it is natural compassion. Okay. So that's what Khenpo Rinpoche is mentioning. Can you please explain Thangtong Gyalpo's aspiration, liberation of diseases? Oh, yeah, this one we can do some other time, yes. Because there's so many aspects of the aspirations are there. So the question is, can you please explain Thangtong Gyalpo's aspirational prayers, Liberator of the diseases of Sakya? There are many great lines within these prayers. Yeah, we can do that one too in the future. What are the signs of progress in meditation practice, and why did Dujom Rinpoche say, keep your mouth shut, or something like that? Hi Khenpo, I get ants every summer. What's the best way to deal with them in a compassionate way? No matter what I try to do, there are always a few casualties. Okay. I think those two can be answered together. So the signs of meditation is Chabjab Dujun Rinpoche. You are asking in terms of Chabjab Dujun Rinpoche. The sign of someone who has heard the Buddha's teachings is humble. Humble and tamed. Humble and tamed meaning, Buddha's teachings talk about sramena. Sramena is gejong. One who is training in virtue. Gejong. It's like the four teachings or the four practices of being a virtuous training. One who is under training of virtue is when somebody is angry at you, you don't get angry. When somebody strikes you, you don't strike back. When somebody yells at you, curses to you, you don't curse back. You don't chok. When someone steals and takes away from you, you don't hold back. You very hard. Buddha Shakyamuni's teaching is very hard to practice. These are four teachings. So if you are practicing training in virtue, you have to have that. If you don't have that, you are not a Buddhist. You are not the follower of Buddha Shakyamuni. So when somebody yells at you, you have to stay calm. When somebody strikes you, you don't strike back. You remain calm. When somebody takes from you, you are not attached to it. You let it go. And when somebody, or I think I said strike, when somebody is angry at you, you don't show anger to them. Just keep smiling and be calm, like that. That's what the Buddha says. So all the teachings, in Buddha's teachings, talk about non-violence. In the Buddha's teachings. So if you heard the teachings of the Buddha, then all the teachings harmonize with that one. None of the teachings contradict. As the teachings go higher and higher, whatever are taught to be humble, to be tamed, to be disciplined, to be desireless, to be free from mental affliction, and so forth. We are talking about none of the teachings above contradict that. The qualities of all of these are perfected as we go receive the higher teachings. It doesn't mean that, we can show off our desire. We can get angry and yell at others and so forth. It doesn't. You're distorting the teachings of the Buddha. It doesn't mean that. So a person, radiating or emitting the sign that he or she has heard the Buddha's teachings are humble, tamed, disciplined, when we are saying disciplined, no, he or she knows not to commit non-virtue. Even if they are not able to apply themselves in benefiting others or engage in virtue, at least they try to stay away or abandon non-virtue. So that is the sign of someone who has heard the teachings of the Buddha and taken that teachings to their heart. That's Thetak Shijing Dulwa, is the sign, meaning you need to emit the sign. And of course there are plenty that they heard the teachings of the Buddha, but they never contemplate, let alone practicing. They not even reflect of that one. Not contemplating, and contemplating, as the great Khenpo Jigpen mentioned, is like sharpening sword. You have a whetstone, like a sharpening stone. Then you have a sword in your hand or a knife. You kind of know how to sharpen the sword. Contemplation is like that. You heard the Buddha's teachings, contemplating, you're keeping your sword sharp. You're sharpening it and keeping it razor sharp. And then when emotion, desire, when anger, when someone slaps you, when someone strikes you, that sharp sword is there to strike the teachings, the essence of the teachings, not to give rise to your emotion. Then you can cut off that mental affliction, your anger, your aggression, your hate, your desire. Your sword is sharp, so it works. But if you never sharpened your sword, never contemplated, now this is the moment that you need to engage, and you try to raise your sword. It doesn't work. It's blunt. It does not work. Like that. So the sign of someone who has heard the teachings and brought that into their practice is humble, disciplined. The sign of someone who has meditated, they have no mental affliction. Their mental affliction is less. Mental affliction, what are our mental affliction? Desire, hatred, ignorance, pride, jealousy. These are the 5 poisons. These are the mental afflictions. So their mental afflictions are low. It does not mean that they don't have, but Khomtak Nyenmong Chungwa is the sign of someone who has meditated. Their mental afflictions are modest, diminishing. It's because they're working. Because if you don't have, then you would be a Buddha. Because we are all training. We have mental afflictions, but they are, not as strong as before. Every day it's becoming weaker and weaker. So the sign of someone who has meditated is that one. So you boast, you become arrogant, like when somebody tells you, you get easily hurt. Like when you don't fulfill what you wish, immediately you become depressed. Something that you don't desire comes into your life, like suffering and misery comes to your life. Immediately you become very sad and unhappy. Where is your meditation? This is called affliction, mental affliction. So much expectation, so much hope, so much fear, so much doubt, and so forth. These are mental affliction. So Buddha's teaching is all aimed to reduce this. So meditation is not that you can fly. Oh, or your body becomes healthy, your body becomes beautiful. Not like that. These are outcome of meditation too, but that's not the goal of meditation. A meditation bringing longevity of your life. Meditation bringing healing powers through your mantra and so forth. Meditation to see tomorrow or future, this kind of thing. These are not the quest. These are not the purpose of meditation. Meditation is to blossom your bodhicitta. Meditation is to blossom your compassion. Meditation is to engage more capability in your benefiting the welfare of sentient beings, benefiting others. Meditation is to bring forth the lessening of your mental afflictions. When you understand, there is a wisdom behind it, there is a purpose behind it, that is called wisdom. Now you understand why we need to meditate. That is called the wisdom arisen through meditation. There is the wisdom that we need when we acquire through listening. There is a wisdom that is acquired or attained or achieved or experienced through contemplation. There is a wisdom that is achieved through meditation. That's wisdom. So wisdom are not separate. There is wisdom in each and everything. So just like earlier we were talking about compassion. There's a wisdom in engaging compassion. There is wisdom in engaging in non-conceptual compassion. So wisdom is there in every form, in each and every form, like that. So, yes, so that is the sign, or that is the meaning of why we need to practice. It's not for showing off, if that's the case, then it's for only worldly gain. And then for your other question, like your ants and so forth, and trying to be as kind as possible. You can have like food and something left outside so that you can divert the ants' trail to other side. Because ants usually come for food, so you can have like a dedicated ant feast outside. So then they will go there. If you have sugar outside, so you can just put sugar outside and they will follow that side. Because if they don't have anything to eat outside, they will come inside. So have something outside if it's possible. I don't know if you're living in I think you can do that. Just leave sugar or something outside and they will go for that and they won't come. And always say prayers. Always say prayers because they come. And in accidentally that you are saying those kind of things happen, the casualties happen, then you make the connection by saying Om Mani Padme Hum, immediately think Chenrezik, then that and connects with Chenrezik through your power of intention and prayer. Like that. Okay. I guess that's it. So your right time is just about 8. Okay, everybody, stay well. Then remember Buddha's teaching. And more you learn about Buddha's teachings, more and more you can trust Buddha's teachings. It is not talking about somebody else's quality. It is talking about our own nature that we can blossom. Okay, and then let's dedicate the merit that is accumulated from this teaching for the achievement of all sentient beings' Buddhahood and to pacify all conditions of this relative. Whatever is unfavorable, being pacified. Whatever is favorable is blossomed in abundance, like that. So think like, Sonam de Thamje Zigbani, Thomne Nepe, Dranam Pamje Shin, Kega Nachi Balong Trubai, Sidbe Sole Drova Rasho, Jambel Pao, Jetar Kembadan, Kunto Zambo, Deyan Dejinte. The da Kungi Jeso Daglochi, Gewa de da Thamje Rabdung, the Sum Shekbe Gewa Thamjeki. Ngowa Gangla Chodo Ngakpa de Dagi Gewe Sawa de Gencha. Sangbo Cheche Rabdung Ngowaragi Jangchup Semcho Rimboche. Ma Ge Banam Ge Jurchi, Ge Banyam Bame Bayang, Gongne Gondu Pelwara Sho. Te da Benzadre Awaboda Neye Soaha. Okay, everybody, have a very good Saturday night. Then have very good Sunday, and likewise have very good Monday, and so on and so forth. Okay, take care. Tashi Delek, everybody. Stay well. Bye bye now.